When it comes to relationships between men and women, would you say that there's some kind of a double standard?
Of course, yeah, definitely a double standard. It's double standard as far as like just based off of chivalry. Like men are expected to like hold doors. Men are expected, especially for like the olden times, like men are expected to provide and take care financially. Like 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 that's really big.
Going Dutch is like normalized now?
Yeah, definitely. It's like a big thing, especially like on males. Like a lot of guys are like literally all like asking women like, "Do you want to go Dutch?" Like,
how do you, like, when you're in a dating situation or you're like on a date, how do you like, you know what I mean? Like, what do you guys do? I mean, I feel like they don't say go Dutch because it's like so normal. It's like, oh, do you want to split this? Or like, how do you all even, like
do you
bring
want
that
to
up?
split this? But like from my perspective, like what I personally do is like I'm grabbing the check or I'm grabbing the bill. If she offers, I mean, I just let her know like, yeah, I got it. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, you know how girls do the fake reach sometimes. Like
What's the fake reach? Tell me about the fake reach.
They go in their purse like they're about to pay for it. But I mean, that's
But
a
they
nice
know they're
gesture.
not,
Yeah,
or
it's a nice gesture. I like it. But at the same time, it's just I know in my mind that I'm paying for this meal regardless, even if it's a bad day. I don't care. You know what I'm saying? I asked you out, so I'm paying for the meal.
and do you feel like that's just you, or do you feel like that's guys in general, or because I've definitely encountered men that don't do that?
Well, this generation, I don't think that's the big thing now. I think literally going Dutch is like the standard now.
Right.
Yeah, I think it's the standard.
Do you feel like it's rude if a woman doesn't offer to pay?
No, I honestly don't.
Why?
If I ask you out on a date, I feel as though I should pay.
What if she asks you out? Because that's not uncommon either.
I mean, if she asks me out and she literally offers to pay and it's like going out her way to pay, I'm not gonna stop her. But at the same time, I'll say I have it, or you know what I'm saying, don't worry about it. You don't have to. But if she's like, she's taking that strong arm and saying that she wants to pay, then I mean, by all means, pay.
What about just like offering to give a tip?
See, that's funny because a lot of people will say like, well, if he pays for the bill, I got the tip. Like, it's all in one. Like, the man pays for the bill, he pays for the tip. If the girl pays for the bill, she pays for the tip. I just don't like going half and half in any type of situation.
Any type of situation. So does that include like bills?
Bills, like mortgage, like anything. I just don't like going half.
Why?
Because it's just a personal preference. Like I grew up in a household where my dad take care of anything financial. So it's just what I'm used to. So yeah, I'm just not used to it, and I don't think men are weak that if they do go half. If you can't afford it, I mean, go half. But at the same time, like, you shouldn't be at Ruth Chris if you need to go half. Like, pick another restaurant where though you can pay for the whole meal. I think that's a good gesture, showing the woman like, hey, he can take me here and pay for the whole meal.
What about women that expect you to go to Ruth Chris and pay for the whole meal?
I mean, we're not picking those women. I'm not picking those women.
Okay, well, talk a little bit more about that. Like, because women, they like to come out the box and be like, oh, I have a list, I have standards, I need to go on a date, and I need to go on a nice date to a real restaurant. We can't go to Applebee's.
Okay.
We can't get on the 2 for $20 menu. Like, what do men think about that?
Personally, I mean, by all means, you can have your standards. If you have high standards, that's cool. But at the same time, I'm thinking in my mind, like, if you have those high standards, I hope that you're able to do that on your own. So you shouldn't be looking for a guy to meet those needs if you can't meet those needs on your own. So if you're like, I don't deserve Ruth Chris, or my meal, like if it's not $100 or more, like stuff like that, then I'm keep thinking in my mind that's kind of crazy and kind of, like you're living without your means, per se. So, I mean, it's by all means like, do what you do.
You talked a little bit about when you were raised, your father paid for everything. What about women that were raised where their father paid for everything, and so therefore, like, moving into the relationship space, they think that the man should pay for everything? 'Cause that's kind of like the same thought process that you have. But then you're saying, okay, what if you want to go to Ruth Chris, that's you living outside your means? If they follow your thought process logically, anything could be outside their means because they don't need to pay for it anyway. So how do we like marry those two concepts?
In that concept, I would think of like, you got the dating concept, and actually in a relationship concept. So you can't put those standards on me if we're dating.
Right.
I think, just my perspective. But we're in a relationship, by all means, yeah. My job is now to provide. I think, because I'm leading. If I'm dating you, I'm leading towards marrying you in the future. I don't just date people just to date. Just me personally.
I was about to say, is that like a common view?
Oh no, it's not common at all. No, I think that most guys date just to meet other women and just to see, like, to explore per se. But like, I feel as though dating is to be getting to know someone on a personal level, and you're like, especially if you're investing your time in that person, I think that you should be looking toward the future and not just the now, not living in the now.
So how do you communicate to someone, if you're just dating them, that you want to either A, move into a relationship, and then B, when you move into the relationship, then you'll start to show these traits that you're talking about providing and I'll pay for things? Because I think for women, they might block a man out and say, okay, this isn't someone that I necessarily want to date seriously because he doesn't seem like a provider because he's not doing it for me while we're dating. So how do you start to signal that to someone?
As a man?
Yeah.
If the man is naturally like inclined to just being that way, then I mean, he has to just naturally just be that way with every person that he dates.
So he has to come out the gate as a provider, or what does he have to do?
I think so. You can't pick and choose like who you're going to like court in a certain type of way. I think you should be yourself at all times with any person that you pick. That's why I think it starts at the picking stage. You shouldn't be picking someone that you know per se doesn't deserve, or like in your mind you're like, this is a situation, like a situationship, and you're giving her the dating privileges. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So like, call it what it is from the get-go, or let them know what it is from the get-go. Like, this is a situationship, or this is dating, or whatever. So if you're dating, by all means, like, be the provider, I think.
If you're not already, make sure you're subscribed and following us. And keep an eye out for our polls and live events. There's lots more content coming soon.